Hey math kids, we are in section 5E and we're on example 16, so continuing this video. Here's all the information for example 16. Gemma invested $4,000 in an account for 5 years at 4.8. Interest compounded half yearly. Inflation over the period averaged 3% per year. And the first part says calculate the value of the investment after 5 years. So we need to find our n value, and we're going to take that information to do it. And so since it's half yearly, it's 2, so our n is equal to 2. 5 times 2, so our n is 10, is what I meant to say. Now our interest, we take 4.8% divided by 2, because once again, half yearly, and so that's going to give us 2.4%, which when we change that to a decimal and add it together, this piece is going to be 1.024. We're raising that to the 10, and our starting amount is 4,000. So if we figure that out, we plug that into a calculator, and so we get 4,000 parentheses 1.024, and then we raise that to the 10, and we get $5,070.60. So that's the answer to part A. And then part B says find the real value of the investment by indexing it for inflation. Okay. So to do that, we are going to use, we're going to kind of do what we did on example 15, if you remember that from the end of the previous video. So we're going to take the real value, which we don't know, multiply that by the inflation rate, and we're looking at that over a 5-year period. And then we know we're going to set that equal to the value that we had. So setting it equal to this value. Okay, so all we need to do is use a calculator to figure out what this is. So 1.03 raised to the 5. That's 1.159. So I'm just going to call this RV. I forgot that number. What was it? 1.16. Then we divide both sides by 1.16. 507.60 divided by our previous answer. It's a good idea to use the full thing. And we are left with 4373.94. And so that is the real value of that, which is much lower because of inflation. So let's move on. Now we're on example 17. It says an industrial dishwasher was produced for 2,400 pounds. And once again, I'm terrible at this symbol, but okay, 2,400 pounds, and depreciated, so went down 15% each year. Find its value after 6 years. Okay, so we're finding it for 6 years. So the initial amount is 2,400. Hopefully you guys are getting pretty used to this. Now, if we drop 15%, we started at 100%, and so now we're at 85%, so that's why I'm using this. So it's essentially the piece of the equation that's 1 plus I, we're saying 1 minus 0.15. So because we're going down, we're decaying or depreciating. And so that's why this piece ends up as 0.85. We look at it for 6 years. So we take out our calculator, 2400, parenthesis, 0.85, parenthesis, raise that to the 6. And we get 905.16 pounds. So after 6 years, the value is that. Now part B, how much did it depreciate? So if we take the original value and we subtract out the new value, we can just say 2400, subtract the previous answer, and we get how much money was lost. And that's all we needed to do on that one. So we'll keep continuing